Welcome to the Offshore Club's fun-filled, fact-filled, fast-paced blockbuster podcast, Open Mike, with Mike Cobb. For more than 20 years, Mike has worked and lived in Caribbean countries from north to south and the Atlantic to the Pacific, where the sun never sets on the good life at a great price. And now, here is your offshore ambassador at large, Mike Cobb.
Hi, this is Carib Carter-Clues. Welcome to Mike Cobb's Offshore Investment Report. Today, we are going to talk about beachfront, coastline, waterfront properties. And here is the expert in it, Mike Cobb. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good, Carter. How are you today?
I'm good. We know you bought I got it right this week, 3.5 miles of beachfront property in Nicaragua.
We did.
Bought beachfront property in Belize.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And look,
I'm taking you on a tour. I'm in Belize right now. I'm in Belize right now, and so I'm in my office here. But let me just see if I can peek out the window. There it is, man. I don't know how's that. You can see out there.
Holy mackerel! We're
right.
Beachfront property.
Yeah, this. By the way,
it is. And
there it is.
That's not a picture. Look.
No, that's real. So I'm in Belize, and the property you're looking at right now is where our Belize Marriott is going to go. We're going to have our groundbreaking this Friday, January 14th. We're doing the groundbreaking on our Marriott right there on that piece of property. Look at that beautiful ocean right behind. Well, somehow we lost our. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, that's it. You can see it through the screen there.
So when I said the expert, the expert is showing us his expertise. Let me ask you, just parenthetically, before I move more into why they got to buy coastline beachfront property in Central America now, can people, all right, you said you're going to build a Marriott there.
Yes.
Can folks like me invest in that?
Yeah, absolutely. We, one of the things that we've always said going, all the way back for, 25 years, we've been, this is our 26th year of business. So we've been around a while, been doing it. And, one of the things we've said from the very, very beginning is, beware of a condo developer or a developer, but a condo developer specifically, who's selling all of their condos, right? And right. You'll hear this as you walk up and down the beaches of Central America, all over the Caribbean, Aruba, wherever, Dominican Republic. These developers will walk up and they'll show you a piece of paper, right? They'll bring you a piece of paper and say, "Oh yeah, invest in this condo, and if we do 60% occupancy at $250 a night, you're going to make 12% return." Well, great. Hey, you know what? 12% is pretty nice return, right?
Yeah.
My question would be, because that's on the selling price. Let's assume that the developer's making a 20% profit, right?
All right.
So now all of a sudden, you add 20% to 12%, that's like a 15% return, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So the question I would ask a developer immediately, right out of the gates, is this: that's awesome. You mean if I buy this for, $200,000, I can make 12% a year on my money? Absolutely, you can, Mr. Cobb. This is why buy it today, right? Well, you know what? If that's the case, in my head, I think, well, he can probably make 15%. The question we should ask that developer right out of the gates is this: that's awesome. How many of those condos are you keeping? Huh? Right? Hey, look, if I can make 12 and he can make 15 or more, right. Why would he ever want to sell very many of those, right? Yeah. He or she, the developer, would want to keep as many as possible to make 15 or more % on their money, right? Nobody, that's good money, right?
Darn good money.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Carter, this is a 202-room Marriott Resort and Residences, and we are keeping, our company, ECI, is keeping about 130 of them, and we're selling 70 of them. So right. Yes. So it is possible for someone to own one of these Marriott residences. 70 of them are for sale to private individuals. But our company, ECI Development, we're keeping, 130 of them. We're keeping, 60+% of these residences because we want the cash flow. We believe in it. We have our money where our mouth is. And prices aren't what you might think. I mean, this is Belize. This isn't, the Cayman Islands or the Turks and Caicos where prices start at $1 million and go up, right? You can actually own one of these oceanfront Marriott residences for about $350,000 to under $350,000. So like
Right.
very, very affordable. A third of what you would pay in the Turks and Caicos or the Cayman Islands or British Virgin Islands. You know, it's very, very affordable, and obviously it's Marriott. So, you know, it's a great property. You know, it's going to be run well, and yeah.
And get a great return. How about fractionals? Is there a way to invest in ECI at a fractional? It's like, let's say somebody has $10,000. Can they invest $10,000 with ECI?
No, we do whole ownership only.
Total. Okay. All right.
Whole ownership. Yep.
Total.
Okay. We like to actually hand people the title to their properties. Right. Here's the title to your property.
I just thought I'd ask because I have 10,000, but I don't have 350,000. So
I understand.
All right.
But Carter, hey, listen, just like Motel 6, we'll leave the light on for you. You got a room, okay? Yeah.
You know what? I appreciate that. I'll take you up on that. So we want to talk about that's one opportunity right there. But all across Central and South America, you know, here, you know, I think back. I want to, you know, I know we only got like, you're in the middle of a big strategic conference, so we only got like 15 minutes left. But I want to give some perspective. When I was a kid, that's a long time ago, 1883 or whenever it was. When I was a kid, my father was a minister in Hollywood, Maryland. And I remember somebody coming up to him, Methodist minister, saying, you know, Solomon's Island out there right offshore, you can buy an acre for $10, right? Yeah. $10 an acre. Well, my father, back then, folks, Methodist ministers didn't make anything. We had holes in our shoes. So did he. He couldn't afford it. That property now, an acre of land on Solomon's Island now sells for about $350,000. Okay. Yeah. And some people are saying, yeah, that was 3,000 years ago. Actually, it was about 60 years ago. And let me tell you something. Let's say he bought 100 acres, Mike, 100 acres. Do you think I could use $35 million right now? Yeah. I think so. I think I could. I could buy one. I own several.
You'll buy a couple of our Marriott residences, right? Yeah.
The same thing is going to happen in Central and South America, in my opinion. What do you think? You're the expert.
Well, you know what? Again, sort of like as a development company, we have our money where our mouth is, right? I mean, we own over 5 miles of beachfront property throughout Latin America with Belize, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama. We're working on a joint venture project in El Salvador right now. You know, 4,000 acres of property. I mean, we're big landowners as a company, but I am also personally a landowner in Central America because I believe in it. I believe in it absolutely. You know, when I came to Belize 26 years ago, actually I came to Belize earlier than that, but 27 years ago, whatever. It was. Yeah, right. It was sort of like Solomon's Island, whatever, 3,000 years ago, whatever. Yeah. I mean, the prices of real estate were so inexpensive. In Nicaragua, we bought 3.5 miles of beachfront property for $2.5 million. I mean, like just staggering, right?
Staggering.
Right. In the year 2000. Now, I mean, today those properties would be, 10 times that number. It'd be 25 million, right? And so, but again, people were thinking, Cobb, are you crazy? What are you doing? Nicaragua. But like, yeah, right. Look, fear and the perception of fear are two totally different things. And we've talked about this on this program a few times, right? People fear flying. They're just petrified, right? They knuckle grip the seat chairs, right? And but at the same time, right, on the way to the airport, they might be driving with one hand, texting with the other hand, right? And driving is already 200 times more dangerous than flying, or 2,000 times. I don't know. It's some outrageously more dangerous. And then when you throw texting into it, like it goes up, right? People don't think about how dangerous that is. They just like the perception of the fear overrules the reality. And when people can dig into the facts, Carter, like really, like what are the facts? What is the crime rate in Nicaragua? Like, don't forget about what you think it might be.
Minuscule.
Right. What is it? Yeah, minuscule, exactly.
Less than the U.S. right now, 4.5 per 100,000, less than the U.S.
Damn, Carter, that's good. I didn't you had the data right at your fingertips.
Oh, man. Hey, I live in a crime city. I know what crime is in the U.S. So, so what you're saying is, okay, it's safe. Plus, folks, it is waterfront, beachfront, coastline.
Yep.
If you can get it now, get it. You can't buy it in the U.S. anymore. Okay, somebody may say, well, California has it. Who in the hell wants to live in California?
Well,
16% taxes. You can't walk out your door. If you open a store, they're allowed to loot it. Come on.
Yeah,
So,
and even if you could, Carter, like, I mean, we have oceanfront condominiums in Nicaragua, and I don't want to sell Nicaragua. I don't care. You know, we have properties in Panama, we have properties in Belize, Costa Rica. You know, so like, I'm not fixated on Nicaragua for any real reason other than it's a very affordable place. So, for example, an oceanfront condo in Nicaragua for under $200,000, an oceanfront home in Nicaragua, $350,000, $400,000. So all of a sudden, like, I mean, just the affordability, it's 10 cents on the dollar or less than what it would be in California, right? It's 10 cents on the dollar.
10 cents on the dollar. And these are, and I want to say this because you won't, these are Mike Cobb communities, folks. So this is the creme de la creme community, okay? Honest to God, you can get cheaper. And I'm not going to lie because I want everybody to move. Here's my feeling. Anytime, you know, it's like C.S. Lewis said, he doesn't care what God people believe in, because sooner or later they're going to end up with the one true God. That was C.S. Lewis's feeling. Sooner or later, we're all going to want to live in a Mike Cobb community. But starting out, anywhere you can buy coastline in Central America, folks, Honduras, 470 miles of coastline, 400, and you can get it right now at a bargain price. Nicaragua, you mentioned Nicaragua, which I am high on. I love Daniel Ortega. He's done an incredible job in that country. 565 miles of beachfront property. Guatemala, 273 miles. It's incredible. In Central America right now, folks. And remember, you cannot lose on beachfront or a property near the water. In Central America now, Mike, I can guarantee your mouth's going to fall in when I tell you this. There is nowhere in Central America that you can live that is more than 125 miles from the water, from the ocean.
Well, I believe that. I mean, people don't get that. Right.
Folks, what the hell are you going to live in landlocked the U.S. for, or pay $10 million for a shanty in South Beach or a hellhole in California when you can go right there? Look, I got all the figures. Write to me. I'll give you the figures. Or go to ecidevelopment.com. ecidevelopment.com, because then you get in on a Mike Cobb community. And let me make clear, Mike, the beauty of let's say Grand Pacifica, be specific, grandpacifica.com, GRAN, there's no D there. There we go, right up there on the screen. It is a Mike Cobb community. It has all the amenities. The stores, the coffee shops, the restaurants, everything you want is right there.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And our tagline is that we deliver inspired lifestyles for adventurous souls. Right. And, and look, if you're watching this video, this program right now, you are an adventurous soul, period. End of story. You've already qualified yourself as someone who's adventurous. And isn't it fun to be around other adventurous people? Like to hang out with them, go have a beer with them, eat with them, go bird watching, mountain bike riding, hiking, laying on the beach, whatever it is, right? I mean, it's really nice to be around other people who carry that adventurous spirit. And what we've done is really build wonderful communities around Central America that pull together people who carry this adventurous spirit and want that kind of inspired lifestyle that comes with it. And it is special, Carter. Thank you for recognizing that, because it really is special.
Yeah, absolutely. I have 2 homes in Honduras. I'm going to buy a home in Nicaragua. I'm going to keep buying, and I encourage our members of our Offshore Club to just buy anywhere and everywhere at this time. I remember also in 1970, when Dad was a minister in Baltimore, we had a family in the church named the Schaefers who owned a riverfront property in Rivera Beach, in Maryland. And I remember one day talking to them, and they said they paid something like $3,000 to $5,000 for it or something. And I ran into the granddaughter about right around 2000 or so somewhere, and she said they sold it for $750,000.
Right. Yeah,
folks, and look at all this beachfront property. Panama, 1,550 miles of beachfront.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now Now the Mike Cobb communities in Panama, is it beachfront or is it in Boquete up in the mountains there?
We have both, actually. We have a beachfront community and one in the highlands, near Boquete. We call that always spring, right? Springtime all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That's the highlands. So we have one at the coast on the Pacific, and then one in the highlands. Yep.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I invest. I just invested, as you know, in a gorgeous beachfront property in Nicaragua. And folks, I got it, $30,000, beautiful home. If you want one, I can give you directions on how to be my neighbor. But I am not a water person. So I also own a home in a quaint community in Honduras. But Boquete, here I am pitching beachfront property. Boquete is a place that I would love because some of those homes have fireplaces in the evening when the temperature drops, right?
Right. And look, the idea is different strokes for different folks. No one product fits all lifestyles or all choices, right? And so we as a development company recognized early on that there are going to be people who want Caribbean. There are going to be people who want Atlantic. There are going to be people that want Pacific. There are going to be people that want Highlands, right? We're exploring communities in Argentina to be able to deliver a vineyard community, much like Napa Valley or the Okanagan Valley in Canada, for people who want that experience. So again, we understand that the geography that people want, the lifestyle ambiance that people want is very different across the board. I think many people, maybe even most people, want beach, right? That's sort of the stereotypical retirement is like, I want to be at the beach, right? And there are a lot of great reasons to be at the beach. It's wonderful, it's beautiful, the sound of the ocean, right? All those things. But there are people who want different geographies in retirement, and we as a company, we've decided that we're going to serve a very wide array of folks looking to live in a beautiful community south of the border. Yeah,
south of the border, and that is, I want to reemphasize that the real advantage of a Mike Cobb community is the total amenities, everything provided for, and that's a real key. Because, let's say you buy like I did in El Calan, Villanueva, Cortes in Honduras. It's a quaint community. It is a Honduran community. Mm-hmm. And you're buying among the locals. Well, I can't call up Mike Cobb on the phone and say, hey, the water system's not working, right? He's going to say, I'm not. He's going to say,
the water's not working. The water's not working. That's right. Yeah. But it is, it's a different thing, right? And for some people, that's fine. But other people, they want sort of the North American standards of water and water pressure and high-speed internet and electricity that's on all the time. All the kinds of things that we as North Americans have just come to take for granted. Yeah. And by the way, a lot of times people say, I don't want to live in one of those gated communities with all the gringos. Over 25% of our residents at Grand Pacifica are Nicaraguan.
There you go.
Nicaraguan. So you're not living in this expat gated community. You're living in a community that meets all your North American standards, that has a ton of Nicaraguans. And it's not just Nicaraguans. We have Canadians, we have Australians, we have a couple from Austria, we have some Brits, we have some people from Spain. Israel. We have people from all over the world who make up this community. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think the real key, and we're running out of time. I want to come back around here. Folks, follow Mike Cobb's lead. He is buying up every inch of beachfront property he can find in Central and South America. Get in there before he gets there. In some cases, if you want your
right along with us, right?
Yeah, because we're all going to end up there, and more American. There is a population inversion. All those little Latinos moving up this way. Let me tell you something. I said this to Mike, had to be 15 years ago. One day, the children of all these illegal aliens are going to say to their parents, what in the hell were you thinking of? Yeah. Right? I'm up here in Milwaukee, freezing to death in a country that no longer has any freedom whatsoever. And all the people that were in Milwaukee moved down to Grand Pacific in Nicaragua and are living like kings and queens. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Population inversion. So it's coming. Get down there, get the beachfront. Brazil, 4,650 miles of beachfront, Mike. You got to go. You got to get down there.
Yeah, well, I have. In fact, I've looked at properties in and around Fortaleza, and they are spectacular. So, you know.
Fantastic.
And you know what? I mean, at the end of the day, there are, like you said, thousands of miles of beachfront property, right? But the real key piece, and you've said it a couple times, and I'm going to emphasize it right here, right now, and that is community. Like, yeah, you can go buy a house on a stretch of beach all by yourself and live like Robinson Crusoe if that's your thing. And there are a few people that like that.
Well, yeah.
But the reality, most of us want friends, neighbors. We want people to do things with. We want a tennis court or a pickleball court or maybe a golf course or tennis courts or swimming pools or clubhouses, places or bars, restaurants, coffee shops, right? I mean, all those things that are really, you know, fun to be at with other people, right?
Yes.
And so while there are thousands of miles of beachfront property, if we're looking for a quality of life, if we're looking for that lifestyle experience, you know, we need to have other people around. We want to have other people around. And in order for that to happen, there have to be places, third spaces, those amenities or those restaurants and other places. They're called third spaces. They have to exist. And they just don't pop out of thin air, right? People pay for them, people build them, people plan them, right? And so, you know, that's what we do. And we're not the only ones that do it. And by all means, I mean, do your homework, check a bunch of stuff out, come down to any of these countries and go kick the dirt, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of these things and see what feels right for you. But in the end, it is the time to do it, Carter. It's, you know, prices are going up because it's all about supply and demand. It's real basic economics. You know, there's a limited supply of coastal real estate, and the number of North Americans coming down to buy it is dramatically increasing. And so, you know, as there's less and less available and more people who want it, you know, prices will continue to go up, and they'll go up rapidly. So the sooner you can get your plane tickets and come down, the better.
All right. And folks, if you want everything for you, handed to you, all laid out, Mike Cobb Communities, Grand Bayman in Belize, Grand Pacifica in Nicaragua. I think you have one in Honduras now.
We do.
What's it called?
The Reef.
The Reef in Honduras.
Yep.
Everything there for you. If you just want to buy, invest in nothing but just pure beachfront with not a thing on it, do it now. Do it now. All right. Absolutely. And folks, you heard it straight from the offshore entrepreneur, Mike Cobb. Mike, thank you.
This was great. Carter. Thanks a lot, man. I'm headed back to my strategic planning session. It's been a great couple of days in Belize, and we're, we as an organization, we take our business very seriously. We've got over 100 folks that work for us in 5 countries, and once a year at least, sometimes twice a year, we get everybody together physically, our entire leadership team. There are 23 people from all over these countries here in Belize for, better part of a week. And we do strategic planning sessions. We do dinners together. We go and look at properties. We do all this stuff, but it's really important to bring our leaders together so that everybody's on the same page. We all know what we're doing, and we brainstorm and we come up with what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, in the coming year. And I'm glad I was able to break away for a little bit to be with you today and do this, Carter. It's always fun, man.
It's always a pleasure, Mike. Thank you. Yep. Thanks for joining us, folks. Make your investment. Do it now.
Yeah.
Join us. Let's do this thing.
Bye, Carter.
So there you have it, folks. The offshore entrepreneur, Mike Cobb. There is no greater authority on offshore investments than Mike Cobb. And there, free advice from the top of the line right there. So enjoy it. I enjoy every second of it. Watch it a couple times. Take notes, if you will. Also, something else I want you to do, make sure to like and share and subscribe to this podcast, to Mike Cobb's Offshore Investment Report, to the other reports and programs and podcasts at offshore.club. And it's all right there. There you go. Go to offshore.club, like, subscribe, and share everything there for us, because the more you do that, the more great information we're going to be able to bring you. So thanks for joining us. And I always tell you, as my coffee cup says, let's do this thing. Thank you.